So, now that I'm done reviewing the Phantasm movies, I wanted to do a unique detour that I don't think a lot of people on YouTube talk about, even though these are classic movies. Classic movies don't get covered enough on YouTube, but I wanted to talk about them. Excuse me. So, today we are talking about the James Dean movies, but specifically today we are talking about Rebel Without a Cause. Next week we will be talking about East of Eden, and then the week after we will be talking about Giant. So, Rebel Without a Cause is kind of an interesting movie for James Dean's career. It's easily his most iconic movie, which is crazy for a guy who's only done 3 movies. And he's such an... And this is really the reason he's iconic. The other movies, I don't think would be as iconic. Like, they're good movies. You should watch them. But this is the movie that put James Dean on the map, because he is so good in this movie. He is the right amount of humor, heart, vulnerability, emotionality, irrationality, like all these different elements to his performance that are just fucking incredible. This is a movie that is a teen rebellion movie of the 50s, right? And the 50s were filled with these movies. But what's so unique about this movie is what it's trying to say is so interesting, where this movie, unlike most teen rebellion movies, which are about parents failing them, not understanding their kids, and those kids having to rebel, well, it's literally in the title. He's a rebel without a cause. He doesn't have a reason to rebel. He wants to rebel. His parents have failed him in some ways. But in other ways they haven't. They love him. They appreciate him. They're trying to help him. But yet, he just keeps trying to rebel. Why? Because this is what his kids of his generation do, and he needs to find his own path through that. And it's a really interesting, well-written, well-acted movie. It really makes you ponder with these ideas about rebellion and what that means and how dangerous that can be, but also how satisfying that can be in some ways. It's a really well-written, well-acted movie that's incredibly well-paced. I mean, everybody does a stellar job in this movie. It's one of those classic movies from the 50s. I feel like there's a lot of people who don't like watching older films from older decades because they don't feel like modern movies, and you can't really watch those now. This is one that I think you could watch now easily with someone who doesn't like older films, and they will absolutely love it. It is an incredible movie that is just one of those movies that's as great as it gets. This is easily one of the best films of the 50s. Love this film. This has always been one of my favorite movies of the James Dean movies, as it is for most people. It's also just been one of my favorite classic movies of all time. Natalie Wood, I also would be really just not doing a great job with this review if I didn't mention how great her performance is. So good in this film. It's just, she's just wonderful in this movie. So, yeah, what a great film. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe.